Good afternoon. I'm Dan DeRose with 19 News, coming to you from our digital desk yet again today. Let's talk about gas prices. You have undoubtedly noticed prices have been shooting up, of course, because of the conflict with Iran, and it's not going away anytime soon. I've covered gas prices long enough to know that all you have to do is look at the price and the trading of crude oil. Here we're looking at just trading from today. That green line you can see has spiked up yet again today. We are up 7.75% today at oil trading at 87.31 a gallon. That's the price right now. That's obviously going to change as it does there. We like to see it go lower. Again, I've covered this long enough to know that when a barrel of crude oil is going for more than $75, your prices are going to be shooting up. When prices are closer to $50 a barrel, that's when we see really cheap gas out on the road. None of us like what we're paying for right now, but it could be worse. The prices when when the war between Ukraine and Russia kicked off, we were seeing gas at about $5, north of $5 a gallon. Right now, the national average, I believe, is about $3.40 a gallon. We're going to bring in Linda Lambert with AAA. Linda also tracks gas prices pretty regularly. Linda, thanks for joining us. How are you today?
Great. Thanks for having me.
I wish we didn't have to have you because
I know.
because anytime we have you on, it means people are experiencing the pain at the pump. Talk to us maybe. Let's start out. We've seen gas prices go up 34 cents on the national average just in the last 5 days since Monday. Give us
Correct.
some perspective. This kind of a spike, have we seen spikes like this before? Where does this kind of rank in severity?
The last time, you just mentioned it a couple of minutes ago, the last time we saw spikes like this was in March of 2022 when Russia invaded Ukraine. And then following a couple of months of gasoline prices going up, we saw those record breaking above $5 a gallon numbers in May and June of 2022, depending on where you were in the country. Now, obviously, over the last 4 years, prices have come back down. And we were actually in a really good spot because crude oil was averaging somewhere between $50 and $60 a barrel, and gasoline prices were under $3 a gallon. Now, in the last 5 days, that has completely changed. And it's hard to predict how long this will continue because we don't know how long this conflict will last.
Um, let's talk about prices here in Northeast Ohio. We are also kind of a victim of what's called price cycling in the state of Ohio. You get gas stations that compete against each other and the prices head down. But then when they have to make up some of that money, prices shoot back up. We're kind of getting hit with a double dose. We're seeing our price cycle back up, plus the added unrest in Iran and oil prices.
Well, the other factor too is we almost always see gas prices increase this time of year for a couple of reasons. Demand is starting to increase. It's almost spring break time. And then we'll hit the summer travel season where millions of people hit the road for vacations. The other factor is the refineries are now beginning the process of switching to summer blend gasoline. And that can add anywhere from 5, 6, 7 cents more to the cost of a gallon of gas. So it's really hitting us from all sides right now.
Yeah, it's kind of the perfect storm, unfortunately. For people who may not understand summer and winter gas, again, I've covered this long enough. Summer gas has to burn cleaner because we have those hot ozone days. So they have to put an additive in the gasoline. Anytime you're adding something, that's adding cost to the price that you're going to pay at the pump. AAA is such a wonderful organization when we start thinking about trips and travel and everything. What should people be planning when it comes to spring break? Should we limit what we're doing? Should you maybe be calculating gasoline a little bit differently in the price of your trip?
Well, we got asked that question a lot back in 2022. And what AAA has found through our research and our surveys is that Americans put a priority on travel when it comes to those family vacations, especially things like spring break and a summer vacation. So we found that most people will cut back in other areas so they can still take those trips to make memories with family and friends. There's some other things you can do, though, especially just driving around town. First and foremost, obey the speed limit. Speeding is your worst enemy when it comes to fuel efficiency. You also want to make sure that you are uh, not doing any of that jackrabbit jump and start because that burns a lot of gas. Use cruise control unless the roads are slippery because that will help you keep your speed at a constant level. And if you have a lot of heavy items in your vehicle, especially if you drive a truck, make sure that it's empty because that cargo drags on the engine. And also, you can download the AAA app, and that will help you find the cheapest gasoline in your area.
All great tips. Linda, you said it earlier, there's no way to really predict how long this conflict is going to go. What's your best advice for people? Do you wait to fill up? Do you get half? Do you fill half your tank? Is there any kind of advice in that area?
Those are personal preferences. You know, it depends on your budget and your financial situation. Right now, I know I told my daughter this morning, she just came home for the weekend, and I said, go fill your car up right now because by Monday, it could be higher. And you talked earlier about crude oil, and AAA tracks West Texas Intermediate. And just to put it into perspective, crude oil earlier this week was trading in the high 60s, low 70s. West Texas Intermediate has gone up $30 a barrel just in the last 5 days. And I checked it a few minutes ago, and it's $92 a barrel.
When people see that, when we're also concentrated on what we pay at the pump. If people wanted to start tracking oil, what are the key indicators? I said earlier, boy, $75 and under is good. $75 and higher is not good.
That
How
tends
should
to be true. Yeah,
yeah?
that tends to be true.
How should people watch oil prices?
Well, keep in mind, the first thing to remember about crude oil prices is crude oil accounts for 50 to 60% of the cost of a gallon of gasoline. The other financial costs are taxes, insurance, marketing, and distribution. So keep an eye on crude oil because if it starts to go up, gasoline will soon follow.
Excellent. Linda Lambert with AAA. We certainly appreciate your expertise. And I hope we don't see you too often. I hope this is the last interview we have to do because we'd like to see prices at least stabilize and stay away from $4 a gallon. Linda, thanks for joining us today. Have a good weekend.
Thanks, you too.
All right, take care. That's going to wrap it up. I just wanted to bring you, advice from the experts and really keeping an eye on this. We've been watching gas and oil prices since Monday, or really the weekend when the conflict began, and we'll continue to do that for you because obviously gas prices impact everybody here in Northeast Ohio. If we have any other breaking news, it'll be here on our digital platforms. Otherwise, our 3.5 hours of first alert weather and news happens every day at 3 o'clock on Channel 19. We do have a first alert weather day for tomorrow. Could be some severe weather around the area, so we're going to keep an eye on that. Otherwise, we'll see you at 3 o'clock. I'm Dan DeRose with 19 News. Have a great weekend.